Red Hot Gotsy, come subscribe, come subscribe, come subscribe, come subscribe. Red Hot Gotsy. Alright, so today I'm doing a video on Lord of the Rings, and basically, this is canonically what most people say is the greatest trilogy of all time. Now, I wanted to make a video just talking about it, for the 20th anniversary, because, I know that's the thing, and basically, it's been 20 years of this trilogy. Honestly, since it came out in 2003. And obviously, I know a lot of people say this is the greatest trilogy because just the character work, the visuals, the story in general is just amazing. Even the fights, like, they really have tension, and you don't really know which characters are going to die, which characters are going to stay dead, and you're kind of just there for the ride. Obviously, some characters you may say canonically have a little bit of plot armor, which you could say for a lot of stories, but at the end of the day, having a character live doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad, or whatever the case may be. But putting that to the side, it's a great trilogy. I wouldn't say every single movie is perfect in terms of its quality. I would say every single movie is really awesome, but I would say there's a little bit of issues in every single one, and I will go over that when I make a retrospective slash review, if you want to call it that. But putting that also to the side, let's just get into my favorite character. Now, obviously, I would say my favorite character is Sam. Now, honestly, the reason I say this is because not only Sam has the best development, the most interesting character, but he affects probably the most characters in the whole trilogy, only because, like, he is the one reason that Frodo even is able to, drop the ring in the fire, the lava, and he is the one who actually saw through Gollum's, like, corruption, because he was essentially trying to corrupt corrupt Frodo and make him think that Sam's against him, and it actually did kind of work for a good chunk of the movie, actually, in Return of the King. And my whole thing is, Gollum, he's a manipulator. He's actually a really nuanced character, because at first he tries to pose as like this really good guy for lack of better words, he's like a freaking gremlin or some crap. But yeah, like, he really poses as this good guy who wants to, like, help them out, because he values the ring, and he wants to, he's essentially acting as if he has the same goals as them, which he wants to do good and destroy the ring as well. But and Frodo even had his doubts in, like, the second film mainly and stuff like that, but in the third film he kind of, like, softened up to him, and that's where you actually get Gollum's backstory and get to understand, like, his corruption, from the ring and stuff like that, how it just turned him and messed up his brain. So the same thing's gonna happen to Frodo if he doesn't eventually get rid of it. But he's stronger because hobbits, don't really get affected by the ring as much, which is the only reason that they were able to go on the adventure to begin with. So seeing Sam, try to help Frodo before he actually gets to that point is very interesting. And you even see with Bilbo how it affected him in the past, and it's like he's a good representation of what Frodo could have turned into, I guess you could say. But Sam never would have even gotten into that position, because he actually was a lot smarter and actually saw through Gollum's bullcrap, and was essentially going to take him out in the third film. Now, they obviously had issues, like, in the second film as well, and he was already over and done with him at that point. But then Frodo, being Frodo, wanted to be the good guy and have him help them through the journey, which was objectively bad. But he didn't know that. He wasn't fully understanding Gollum's motivation, his goals, and how he was manipulating him, stuff like that. But just seeing Sam from this, like, essentially, like, farmer boy, just kind of like some random guy, Middle Earth, it wasn't really going to affect the world in any meaningful way, to basically essentially the hero of the story, is the most interesting and probably the biggest character arc in modern fiction, honestly, in the last, like, 20 something years. And it's interesting to see him like, not only physically grow stronger, but, like, mentally. Like, when the Shelob was actually going to take over, or not take over, when it's going to kill Frodo, and it, like, wrapped it in its spider web, like that's where you really get to see Sam shine as a character, as a person. Just like, you really get to see the growth there, in the physical aspect, and then in the mental aspect. You see it when he's actually carrying Frodo to the volcano, like all the way up it, and it just shows like he really, even though he's like really, frightened by all the stuff that's actually happened to him in throughout the whole film, he's willing to, stand up and fight and just, put his best foot forward, even though, they have a slim chance of actually winning. And that's the thing. It's a lack of fear, or not lack of fear, a lack of motivation that could, kill characters like, I guess you could say, drive. And with Sam, he doesn't have much to go off of in terms of like, I guess you could say he doesn't have a lot of assistance. It's like Frodo is gullible kid, stuff like that. Almost gets himself killed multiple times. With Gollum, obviously he's against him, and he has to watch out for him. He doesn't really trust him to begin with. But with Sam, he's like, the smarter character. He's obviously not the strongest, but even so, he still is the one who, like, is mentally, like, having to strategize himself out of different situations, stuff like that. And I think that's very interesting, because obviously, like, characters like some of the other characters like Aragorn or like Gandalf, they physically can just overpower some of their opponents and stuff like that. But it's interesting just seeing how they escape, throughout all three films, even without that. All right, so that's basically just my synopsis on why I think Sam is the best character in Lord of the Rings. Now, obviously, some people are gonna say different characters, and I actually want to hear that in the comment section. But Happy New Year to everyone, and 2024. I'm definitely gonna be posting a lot more. And also, I'm gonna make that retrospective like probably very soon. Again, I'm going to rewatch the films. I'm going to watch the extended cut as well, because, I want the most amount of info I possibly can get, and just try to, like, be as objective as possible and try to be as accurate as possible. I'm going to give every single character the shine in the next video or videos. I'll probably either make 3 or just make 1 big video. I'll try not to make it too long. Depends. But yeah. Just look forward to that, and comment, subscribe, like. I'll see you guys later.
No way, Jose.
Red Hot Gotsy, come subscribe, like, come subscribe, like, come subscribe, like, come